Hello and welcome back to the channel. My name is Krashy, and today we're going to dive into a replay of one of my games to talk about this jungle meta. This is for the laners that don't know how and what junglers are doing. This is for junglers that are trying to still adjust to some of the jungle changes, and we're going to show you exactly what I did in this game and kind of even speed it up, slow it down at times to talk about specific decisions that were made, things that I maybe did poorly. Not like a really true in-depth VOD review, but just to kind of give my thoughts as I'm reacting to a game that I just played. So I just played this match, Jungle Greystone. I already knew that I was going tanky by looking at the compositions. They have a Steel, a Sevarog, and a Chimera, and we have like a Narbash, myself on Greystone, and a offlane Richter. So I thought to myself, perfect opportunity to play like a tanky Greystone game. So I grabbed the Titan's Crest, and we're going to dive into it. So let's go ahead and speed this up. I think I'll play a lot of this on 2x speed. And what the junglers do in this game now is they are forced to make a decision between trying to have presence on the map and getting themselves ahead in experience. Basically, every single jungler should be farming their ass off. That is like literally the jungle meta. I'm not showing up to rivers. I'm just clearing and clearing and clearing, and you're going to see what happens and what the difference is between the way that my actions are and the way that the enemy Chimera is, and the exact reason why this is kind of the current jungle meta. So, still sick, sorry about that, but we're going through a full jungle clear right now. Let's take a look at it. You can kind of look at the mini-map as well, because I'll be referencing Chimera. You can see he's going through a jungle clear on his side as well, but I'm a little bit ahead of him for whatever reason. I don't know if he cleared his 2 camp. I don't know if he showed up. I wasn't actually paying attention. But from my perspective, I have a little bit of time here. Since they're pushed up, don't be afraid to go for a gank, but I just go for a little quick gank, and then I base. I'm going to buy my cleaver, and I'm going to go to my 5 camp. So the Chimera actually happens to show up here looking for a bit of an invade, and I see him. I'm going to go ahead and push him away. I'm not really worried about the result of what's happening in that lane, because I can see the health is favoring Richter, so I'm just going to kind of leave it to him, and I'm focused on my goal. My same goal is to farm. So right here is Chimera's farm at 30. My farm is at 37. You see, the same thing. Look, I have a really quick opportunity to try to go for a gank, and since this is actually this decision, I know I'm going really fast. Instead of continuing my 2 camp into a full clear, I still see the Chimera in the lane. So I already know, because I started my red side, he started his red side. I know that because I was on my red side farming, and he's still on the off lane, his red side is up now. So now, not only are you just trying to hyper farm, you're trying to take as much of the jungle as possible. Not just your jungle, their jungle. And there are situations where you can get yourself in like a 3-quadrant rotation, where you can do like your red side, your blue side, their red side, base, your red side, your blue side, their red side, base. And that has actually happened a lot for me in this patch. Now, again, you do have to let the laners fend for themselves. So for laners, when I'm speaking to you with this video, understand that the jungler's trying to pull themselves ahead, so give them a little bit of time. This is how the game scales right now. It's really, really strong for junglers to just try to get as much of a lead as possible, and when they're impactful, when they feel like they can gank, when the ganks are present for them, when y'all are setting them up for ganks, that's when the ganks will come. So all right, same thing. Like I said, we saw him in the off lane. This gives me a free opportunity to steal his red side, so we're going to go ahead and steal his red side. Still watching him. I see him in the lane, so I can still see this, and now, you know, now I'm going to lose a little bit of track of him because I don't exactly know where he goes, but it doesn't really matter. This gives me an opportunity to go for a gank again. So same thing. You can see this gives me an opportunity to go for this gank. I put a little bit of pressure out. I tax the wave just like I think maybe 1 minion, and then I go right back into farming. So the rotation's not always the same 100%, but you just kind of react to whatever is given to you. So right, as soon as I leave that duo lane, I go into my blue side because my blue side's up. So we go over here. We go farm out my blue side, and now I can either base and buy something, or I can go into my red side and continue farming. So I'm going to continue farming. I don't have like a big spike that I could actually purchase right now with only 700, 800 gold. So I'm just going to go ahead and farm my whole red side again. So you can see I kind of have that quadrant rotation up. I have his red, my blue, my red side. Now, the enemy team is going for first Fangtooth. Listen to me very intently right here. Everybody in the game, laners, junglers, these early Fangtooth don't matter anymore. They matter because they build, but you can get such a lead farming, and that is so impactful to your fights and your impact on the game, that like Fangtooth 1, Fangtooth 2, they don't really matter that much. So you got to trust me. I know that I've seen people in my games get a little frustrated that their jungler doesn't show up to Fangtooth. I promise you, it's just not as impactful as it used to be to go for these early Fangtooths. So you're going to see me taking a lead, getting ahead. Let's go ahead and take a look at it. So right now I'm at 67 farm. Their jungler's at 55 farm. You're seeing me start to pull away. I have a level 6 advantage. You can't see it, but he's level 5 currently, and I'm starting to pull away from their Chimera just based on my actions. So I'm low. I have some gold. We're going to go ahead and base, and we're going to go ahead and start from here. So we purchase the next side of my Overlord. I always forget what this is called. Banded Emerald. Banded Emerald. My blue is up, and you see that my blue side is coming back up. And I have an opportunity where I can either clear here, invade his red side potentially, or just stick to my path since I maybe don't have a lot of information about his jungle right now. So you see me, I'm waiting for my camp. I'm going to go ahead and clear my camp. Oftentimes, I will never run past my own farm because it's just not the best way to do things. And right here, I'm deciding instead of waiting for my camp, I'm going to look to invade his jungle. So you see me sweeping out. I go for a gank here. Again, when the ganks are present and you take them, I can put some good grief damage on the Shinbi, and then we just keep on moving. So now I'm looking to invade his jungle. So you see, I see him there. I'm starting to put pressure here. I just start moving away. I still want to pressure. Again, I'm in the lead. I know I'm in the lead over him. I know that we could potentially 2v2. The lane is about neutral, so we don't have lane prio here, so I have to 2v1 for a little bit. But already looking at their health and just knowing about how strong I am, I feel confident to fight here. These are the decisions that are going to be hard to make, right? Because you can see I'm fighting for farm, right? I'm not just fighting to fight. I want to take as much of this blue side as I can. So I'm pinging here. I'm trying to let the Richter know that I want his help. And I'm also trying to kind of limit test and feel out how this 2v1 is going before I need to potentially burn a flash or my ultimate to get out of here. So you can see, look at my actions. I'm going for the farm. You see me peeling back? I'm going for the farm. Now I'm going to pop my ultimate. We stay on the Chimera. We stay on the Chimera. And now we chase down the Chimera. It gets a little bit, he almost gets away. I got to burn a flash to get to him. He's really fast for some reason. And we take him down. Now the Shinbi's coming out. I go on ahead and get out of here. Very nice. And unfortunately I die. So it's okay though. It's okay because it takes 3 of them. I steal a little bit of farm. I get a kill on their jungler. We get an assist. It's a good trade, right? It's a pretty neutral feeling trade, but it's actually a really positive trade for us. That also gives our mid the opportunity to farm a little bit more. We can see her farm is up over the mid. So you have to think about the bigger picture. So we take him down. I'm looking at my jungle. My red side camps are up. My blue side camps are coming up. I've got a lot of options. I'm going to go on ahead and respawn and go from there. So let's go ahead and speed this up. We'll get to my respawn. All right. A respawn, we'll put it back down to 2 times, and we're back in rotation. We're back to just looking for the farm that we want to find, so that way we can continue to get stronger and stronger. And if here's the thing, if the other jungler's not playing like this, I'm getting further and further ahead every time that I do something like this. So 91 farm to his 69 farm. I'm already working on the second item. He's going to be, starting to build up his gold to work on a second item, and we're going to continue to go from there. So giving them, a kill and assist or whatever, or like an assist is not amazing, but I think it was a good trade. So I think it was a good trade. My red's not up just yet, so I can go over to my blue side. There could even be a clear into a gank here, just looking at where the lane is. And this is how I think about it. If they're pushed up, there might be a potential gank here. So I'm kind of looking to see there might be a potential gank, but as they kind of backed up and went toward gold, I don't see this ward here, but as they back up and went toward gold, I can go down base. So I'm going to base. I'm going to look to spend my gold and get out to my crest. So that's the reason why I base there. I can get the, what is it, horned plate? I forget what this item's called. I think it's horned plate. I can get the horned plate and I can get my crest. So getting that online is a pretty nice power spike. So try to remember to back on your power spikes and when it just makes the most sense. So I clear that side of my jungle that's up. I back from my power spike and I'm back on field farming instantly again. So again, Fangtooth 2 is coming up. I don't have an opportunity, or I haven't had an opportunity to make my way over there. I'm really just farming. So now I'm going to cover mid. Don't want to give any tower damage. If you can cover lanes, I think this is super important. And I'm covering this mid wave. Now, I actually intended to show up to this Fangtooth. They just burned it a lot faster than I was able to get there. So they burn it fast. You can see I get here and then look and see what we can turn this into. Now, getting this Fangtooth, it's not great because it puts them at Fangtooth 2, but it's not a huge deal. Again, I still got extra farm in, and if we can convert this into kills, then it's a very, very good thing for us. So you have to think about all of these things, right? Like, oh man, it's 2-3 on the board. We're down 2 Fangtooths, but that doesn't actually matter because I'm up 118 farm to his 99, and we're looking to go for some kills here. So I dive all over the Twin Blast, pop my ultimate, and we're just picking up kills, converting, right? Picking up kills and converting. We're gonna chase down the Shinbi. And we get her. Nice. And then look at me. Look, even with the low health, instantly back into farming. Instantly back into farming. So all the time he spends dead, he has to go back to base. I'm farming. And we go for my other side of the blue side. Gonna take this quietly, hopefully. And you can see the steel sees me, but I'm just gonna walk away. No biggie. And we base. So let's speed this up. gonna start, we build our tainted now because I've had a lot of gold, and we're right back out onto our red side. You know, you look for invades when you have information or when you need information. You look for ganks when ganks look gankable or when lanes look gankable, and you know, you farm when you can farm. Now they're going for mini prime. I was gonna hopefully clear this up and then go for it. You can see that's kind of my path. They're again a little bit ahead of me on some of these objectives, so you know, they're still in the game, but unfortunately I wasn't able to get there in time. That said, I'm strong. I can fight them. You can see I'm trying to kind of focus both of them because the Chimera is killable, but the Sevarog is the one that actually has the mini prime. Now this gets a little bit weird because he dives, and I think maybe I could help him with this, but I kind of hesitated to help him, so I had to burn my flash to not get killed by her Q there, but that's okay, right? A little bit of misplays. It happens. So we kill the Chimera again. So again, I'm staying on top of the Chimera. The Chimera, let's look at the results of all of the decisions the Chimera has made versus the decisions that I have made. They have secured every objective in the game so far. They have a mini prime under the belt, 2 Fangtooths under the belt, but I am currently sitting at 143 farm to the Chimera's 108 farm. I have an item over him in terms of being a full built item, and he's level 8. I know you can't see this currently, but you can see it on the overlay up here. He is level 8, and I am level 10. I am definitely ahead of this character, and I am looking to continue to control the game from here. Now, you don't want to be entirely negligent and never show up to objectives. That's not really what I'm trying to do. I was trying to already start putting that influence into the game already, but you can see they get this tower here, and now I'm starting to try to show up as much as I can more and more, and I have been intermittently, right? It's not like I'm ignoring ganking entirely. Unfortunately, the Twin Blast gets away from me, but we extend these fights as long as we can. We look for the value that we can. We clear up some waves, and with the Shinbi coming in, we're going to peel and try to fight Shinbi. I zone her off if I can from the Kira. You're going to see I don't really have an opportunity to save Kira a lot in this game, so I kind of tend to, you know, kind of abandon her, and then I'm trying to peel for her at certain times, but look at that. It ends, and what do? Right back into farming. Right back into farming. My blue side's down, and look where I go. Over to my red side, I see my full red side is up, right back into farming. So the thing is if the other jungler's not as efficient as you on their timers looking for those opportunities, then they're just behind. Now, I clear up this 5 cam and I base because there is a Fang 3. I don't want to give him 8% permanent stats, so I'm going to try to get over there if I can, and then this is a really important one. Now, I would say if I didn't show up to this one, I could maybe see why someone on the team might not be super excited about me, but I see the Chimera on it. I'm going to jump in immediately because he can't 1v1 me, so I can grief his health bar, and look at this. Now I just take it. I grief his health bar. He wasted time coming over here. All of this time that he was not catching up to me, he was not going for farm, and what am I doing? Now I put us on the board with Fangtooth. I put us on the board with Fangtooth, and not only do I put us on the board with Fangtooth, I know that his health bar was most likely griefed. I look for his camps. So you look for the opportunities to invade. I saw that the seal might have seen me. You look for the opportunities to invade when you can. You take what you can. You go for the ganks when you can. You can see it here. I'm looking for the gank when I can. You know, trying to look, you know, I can dive this if I need to, potentially. The Kira wasn't really stepping in as much as I'd wanted to. I'm going to look for a gold buff here because it was on map, but we don't actually have it. We're going ahead and base here because I'm low, and let's see what we do. We base, we continue buying items. I'm going for double tainted tank build setup. I'm going to cover the mid wave again. You can cover the waves. So this is additional farm for me just to push the wave away because wave management's important. I see that my mid laner's not here. She's in the off lane, so same thing. I'm going to shove this wave up. And this is additional farm on top of the farm that I could be looking for. Now I want to cut them off. I'm looking to cut them off potentially. I run into the Shinbi there, and I jump up top onto the Twin Blast. Now I'm just trying to impose my will on them as much as possible. I'm strong. We catch the steal. I try to chase the Twin Blast down, but it's okay. Peel back on the Shinbi. She gets taken down. We're looking for farm here, and what am I doing? Look at my health. Right back into farming. You get the point, right? Like, it's all about being efficient with your time and finding those opportunities that are going to push the game, but push yourself as well. And so being efficient with farming, I see that my right lane is being pushed, my off laner died, I cover the lane. You're just looking at the fundamentals of jungle and like how to get a lead and how to then use that lead to actually do things and kind of push action. So, you know, I'm doing very well at 414, 210 farm to the Chimera's 164 farm. He's at 2 items to my 3. His build's not super great, you know, that doesn't help as well. And you know, I'm right here. I cleared the wave, I held right lane, and I'm right back into farming. So finish up my red side. And again, we go towards the mid. Now we're looking to impose our will a little bit again. See the Shinbi behind, she gets taken down, and I'm looking to invade, and I didn't see that the duo lane popped out, so I had to peel back. Unfortunately, the duo lane does kill my teammates here, but look, we're going to dive in on them. I don't know why the spectator mode does that. We have to flash to get to the Twin Blast. We take down the Twin Blast, and I can run them down. The Chimera has no business being anywhere near me. He continues to keep putting himself in situations where he's not using his time to catch up to me, and it's pushing him further and further away from what I'm able to do. So I see right lanes being pushed again. That's partially my role. We back, we buy items, we go push out the wave. So we push out the wave. We do have a primal Fangtooth coming up soon. So you're going to see me starting to make my way there. Now objectives start taking precedent, and you know, you start looking for things. I saw the steal here and I dropped down because I'm strong. Like I don't really fear anybody. I'm looking for wards. You can see, look, we take the kill on him and we go for primal. Now this is where I get really annoyed with my team's macro, because my damage dealers just don't come over here. This is really bad. So this play could have been bad, but this was the objectively correct play. Kira decides to not come over here, and it's just me and Narbash, and then the Fae leads them over here naturally because, you know, she needs to run. So it kind of turns into like an objective where, and this is a fine play if it's planned, an objective play where you start it to pull them in and then you turn and fight, but it wasn't really planned that way. It's just because my team didn't have macro. But you'll see what happens. So we turn, we fight. You know, again, we're super strong. They can't fight me. We're in there. We kill the Shinbi, kill the Chimera, and then I'm right back on it. And again, same thing happens. They don't macro. The damage dealers just walk away for some reason. So me and Narbash holding it down. Faye comes, but you know, without all of us, and we don't have our Kira, this is a slow burn. So this is like not the best play in the world to watch because it takes us forever to actually take this down. But that aside, we actually are going to get it. So we're going to go ahead and get that. We get the primal. Nice. We back. We buy. We go farm. Now, I personally would love to use this primal to like for a forced fight and try to find opportunities to get the prime with it, because you really need prime to siege. But you'll see how we do it. So I see that the wave is pushing back. I'm gonna go ahead and catch the wave. Richter kind of puts himself in a really bad position, so he gets taken down, which is stupid. And again, I'm strong, so I'm not really worried about them fighting me. Now I will jump away. I see that the Fae is kind of committing, so we're gonna try to fight the Shinbi. Unfortunately, she dies, but I'm trading because I can just fight everybody. I'm super strong. I don't know why the spectator mode does that. But again, you see me get a double kill. Unfortunately, my Kira dies. So my teammates aren't having the best game, but I look for my next opportunity. Okay, I've gotten some kills. I know that the other people on the enemy team are on the other lane. I'm going to open up the map by getting this tower. I'm going to siege tier 2 if I can, and we'll see how far we can go. Again, this is sieging with the primal buff, not the prime buff, so I can't really stay here because the waves are weak. And I try to take a greedy back, but the Sevarog steps in, so you'll see I just have to walk away. And this is super greedy to me because I still have a true damage buff, but I walk away, he still chases me. So I don't know if this play is the right play, but now I'm just like, okay, you follow me all the way to my side of the map, like I'll fight you here, I don't care. And this is going to lead into a crazy fight. Watch the Fae ult, baits him right into a massive ult. I'm still huge, we're still in on him. Kill the Shinbi, and now we have some kills. We can go for orbs. So it took us a long time to get the macro down, to put ourselves in the right position to get some of these objectives, but the whole game, let's look at where all of these decisions have led to. The entire game has led me to 10 1 and 10 267 farm. The Chimera is 272 203 farm. So you're just seeing how you can just continue to take over and take over and take over. And yeah, that's kind of what we're looking at. So we'll go ahead and watch the rest of this game. I'll probably speed it up. We take the orb. We take the orb. Sorry, I'm sick. I know I sound like shit. And now we got to slow this down because the spectator mode likes to break. And we're sieging. Now, this is one of those opportunities, like I told you, Greystone's not really great at peeling anyways. I'm just going to be honest. I didn't really feel like my Kira was playing great this game. I have to be just honest here. I let her die. I don't try to peel for her. I just want to push. If they hard dive on her and she's at like as close up as I was, I don't really think I could help her anyways. That also gets my Narbash killed, I believe. But I just push, you know, I'm just pushing. I'm strong. I know they can't really fight me, but I can't really peel for somebody. Like Greystone just doesn't really have that. He can peel with his body only, but if they already get to him, then there's not much you can do. So we take this down and we're fighting. Me and the Fae, super strong. I thought we might be able to finish here, so you can kind of see I'm starting to invest in that, but I just don't think we could finish. So you'll see I eventually step away. I really wanted to finish here because I thought we could end it. You see, I can't quite get it taken down. So we put a little bit of core damage down. The Sevarog wants to try to chase me and whatnot, but it's fine. So we back up here. And now we have a primal. So same thing. I back, I buy, I have a ridiculous amount of gold. I'm calling primal. The Kira starts the primal on her own, and my teammates are sieging. This team's macro was really, really poor, and it made the game a little bit harder than it needed to be, but it's fine, right? Like, we get a pick, and then I think 2 of us die, so it's not a good trade. But nonetheless, it's whatever. So, or 3 of us die. So we got 1 pick, 1 for 3 in a late game where we're like dominating and don't need to be up there. So don't make those decisions, right? Like I'm at least giving you all the knowledge to say don't make those decisions. I go on ahead and set this wave as well, push this wave up, and again, I still, like, nobody can really fight me. So we have opportunities to just kind of like keep being stronger and keep doing what we want to do. I don't really need to farm as much anymore, so my farm rate is going to go down a lot. Now I'm trying to find opportunities to like try to convince people to fight me and like force people to fight me, or like, you know, cut people off. So I dip in the jungle, I come back out to see if I can force her to fight me, to see if she's pushing forward. I'm like trying to cut over to see if I can bump into them. I'm sieging them down because like I really can fight them. And you can see we get a little committal here. Let's see what comes of it. Get pretty committal. Now I actually try to peel. I still don't save the Kira, but I just run her down because my teammates are winning their fight. So you're gonna see I just run her down. I don't want her to back. My teammates are winning their fight. I run her down. I run her down. She dashes over. No biggie. I run her down. I messed up my jump here. You're gonna watch it. Big sad. Messed up my jump here, but still she starts backing. I run her down. Nope. Runs into the Richter, and we run her down. We push in, and we end the game. Friends, drop a like on this video, subscribe for future Predecessor content. You gotta farm if you're a jungler. Laners, you gotta give the jungler time to farm, and you gotta give him ganks. So hopefully this enlightens you a little bit on the kind of current meta and the jungle meta and what we junglers are looking to do. I got a massive lead this game. I carried it the whole game, and that's what you look to do. So don't stress out about the early Fangtooths too much. It'll come in time. Farm. Everybody, farm your ass off. That's how you get stronger. Friends, thank you so much for watching. As always, be sure to be kind of one of them. Tell someone you love them, and I'll see you in the next video.